Hi guys, Martin from Belief. In this video we're going to look at how to alter the default testimonials as shown on your website. This is what the testimonial slider typically looks like. You may alter this container in any way that floats your boat. These little colors here that are applied to the page marker, the little triangles here, they can be excluded altogether. Of course, you can include a larger number of testimonials and so on. There's a huge number of formatting options. You may also change the template itself. So you can include the testimonials in containers, and containers are more aligned with what you're typically going to see out in the market with how testimonials are presented. So the testimonials page is accessed primarily from the testimonials menu, and there's a testimonials page here. You select any of these and it will take you to a page with an individual testimonial. Now, first of all, when we created this, we were going to go in two different directions. One was, do we have an individual page on your website within its own dedicated post archive for testimonials, or do we have a single page that just creates each individual testimonial dynamically? We went with the former because it's better for SEO. It's more easily applied, the SEO components, certainly from your end. And also, you won't necessarily be using Yabra forever, so you want those testimonials on your site. So the former was applied. So testimonials are sent to your website from Yabra. If I pull up Yabra here, and I'll just go through this really quickly because there are a whole bunch of videos and FAQs and all sorts of things that deal with how to apply testimonials to your site. The manage option here will bring up an empty page for me. We don't do testimonials, so it's going to be an empty page on this demo site here. For all of you, you're going to have a bunch of testimonials where they've come from, the review itself, the website where it was sent to, and under publish, it's going to be a little toggle switch. So you toggle that to red and green. So green for published, red for unpublished. So we set up those pathways through distribution. So through distribution, you set up a source, which is Google My Business, and second, a destination website, which is your website. And all the reviews created on Google will be sent to your website. However, this panel is used to selectively publish them and unpublish them because you don't necessarily want all reviews published. Of course, we've got single correction. We've got location lists and custom lists. Custom lists are like first home buyer testimonials and things like that. And they're ideal for landing pages. We don't include refinancing testimonials on first home buyer pages, for example. So there's a whole bunch of videos and FAQs that deal with this particular component of the system because it's massive. It automatically creates images and does all sorts of interesting things. So we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about how to change these three testimonials. So let's jump into the WordPress dashboard, and down the bottom here you've got an option called BM Testimonials. Now, it shouldn't need to be said, but when you log into WP Admin, so when you log into your website, you will want to select website and then website management. Select the little security icon here, the little padlock, and open up your website and unlock it for a period of time. Okay, and enable. If you access WP Admin, if you try and log into your website before that function is performed, it will block your IP address, it will block you from your website. It's just a simple security feature because it blocks out 300,000 or 400,000 malicious requests a day, just that action. Because scammers and spammers just try brute force on password, and we just block them outright. And then we send that IP address that they've used after a period of time to a malware database. We don't send Australian IPs, by the way, to a malware database, but everything outside of Australia automatically gets sent to another database that is globally accessed and updated every few days or couple of days. In fact, it's updated in real time, but updated in most systems every couple of days. So be cautious and careful. Certainly if you do blacklist yourself when you log in, simply connect via a hotspot on your phone, which has a different IP address, log into Yabba, open up the IP address for which your desktop is connected, so your NBN IP address or whatever else. Google, what is my IP address? It'll give it to you, and type that in and whitelist it. Okay, remember you whitelist an IP address, again, via the same panel, and we go into IP address here, and simply type in the IP address. You can, and by default, that will give you the IP address that you're currently logged into. However, if you're logging in via a 5G connection or something, then you'll want to Google what is my IP address on your PC and copy that in, because this is the wrong IP. So hosts, construction, and logins, they're the other options. But this IP address, this facility, will most of the time unblock you unless it was considered what we call malicious 5, which is a score of 5 or more, between 5 and 10. So it will unblock you, but it certainly will whitelist it. If it says contact PM, unfortunately you have to contact us, and there's a delay, which is a nuisance. So please, guys, please use this. We put this security in place for your protection, for the protection of your information and assets. We didn't do it because we enjoy putting roadblocks in front of you. So this just has to be done, and that's that. So, okay, let's have a look at these testimonials, BM testimonials. Now, there's just 4 really elements that have to be changed on this page. Notice I've got Jane Doe, John Doe, and John Smith. Let's edit Jane Doe here. These are just posts within their own archive. They're treated differently. So Jane Doe, you'll want to change that to something else. Jane Doe Doe. And here where it's got the permalink, you want to change that to the individual's name, or something that is better aligned with SEO. So Jane Doe first home or something, you know, anything. Jane Doe Joe. Okay, I'll keep it as that. And then here you want to go, this is an update. So type that in there. So this language, by the way, is just called Lon Ipsum. It's Latin text. So far I've got 1, 2, 3 changes. What's next? Well, it's really a number of changes. Select the platform for which it was sent. Now, this is done automatically when it's sent to your website, but when you do it manually, you obviously have to select Google. And down the bottom here is where you select or create the image. An image must be assigned, okay? If not, we're just going to assign something default. And update that. And that's that. So you've updated your text here. The only update I've made to that is this is an update. So if I refresh this, this is John Doe. We want Jane Doe, don't we? So Jane Doe Doe here. And Jane Doe Doe, here's the little update I made. It's the only real thing that I updated on the page. Now, the page itself, again, one of the advantages of having a standalone page is because we do support things like video testimonials and other dynamic elements that might be suitable for the page. So it's one of those things we have to discuss at length before we implement it, because it's always a long-term solution. That said, it may change again in the future, just because some guys struggle with the whole concept of this post type thing down the bottom. The last thing we wanted to do was really migrate all these features into Yabba and require Yabba in order to manufacture the pages, because in 2-3 years you may not be using Yabba. You're going to have your own marketing department with 3 guys that are guns, and they're going to build their own system, and they're going to have their own everything. Although Yabba is just a super simple solution, guys. It just ingests all your testimonials from all locations and sends them directly to one or more websites. So there's one guy that has maybe, I think it's 17 or 18 offices that uses this really extensively. And he actually created a standalone website with just the reviews. He just wanted to do it. I didn't suggest it to him or anything. In fact, I don't think it's the most brilliant idea he's ever had, but he sends everything from all those offices, from all those brokers, to a single website where it all aggregates. For a business perspective, there are RSS feeds, there are JSON feeds, there are everything with all the aggregated information and data. So it's a really comprehensive system, like really, really, really comprehensive. There is a ton of stuff on the back end that supports this in really cool ways. So that's that, guys. That's just you know, how the page is delivered to you when the website is delivered. The testimonial stuff is all generic. We don't update that in any way, just because it performs as is and performs nicely. So that's that, guys. My name is Martin Curry from Belief Media. 0400 777 300. Bye bye.